by Ian Olson, Managing Director of Pointerra. Ian, thanks for your time.
Pleasure to be here and good to see you again, David.
For those who don't know Pointerra, what is it and why is it so important?
Sure. David, we're a cloud platform that manages people's 3D data. All over the world every day, hundreds of thousands of people get out of bed and use hardware to generate 3D data. Aeroplanes, helicopters, drones, mobile vehicles, tripods. There are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of professionals every day all around the world generating 3D data so they can better understand the physical world, to design, to construct, to maintain, to operate, to govern, to insure. And generating the 3D data is pretty hard, but then turning that data into information and extracting insight from it is even harder. So the workflow is really painful, it takes a long time, it's expensive and it's error prone. And our platform, our cloud platform, takes that data and we use the adjacency of near infinite compute power and obviously the availability of cloud storage, and we get people those answers. We simplify the complex. The complex is workflow and we simplify it and we do it faster than anyone else, and that's a value proposition that our customers are paying us for.
Talking of customers, what does demand look like and where does it come from?
Yeah, also demand comes from we've got 6 segments in our business model. So we start with the people that generate data, surveying and mapping, the AEC sector, architecture, engineering, construction. They design, build, construct, maintain physical assets, whether it's civil infrastructure or process infrastructure or buildings like the one we're sitting in. And then you have the asset owners, so utilities, which is power and water, transport, road and rail, and then defence and intelligence, and the mining, oil and gas sector. So we've got customers across all those sectors, people that generate data, people that use it, and then people that own and operate their own physical world. And our platform has relevance and solves a bunch of problems across all of those sectors.
What does COVID-19 and the pandemic and shutting down of transport and travel, what does that mean for your business?
Well, certainly the story of calendar 2020, which was very much a tailwind for us, was, hey, my workforce is now distributed, they're all working from home, they can't get to the physical thing that they have to manage on a day-to-day basis, and so a cloud deployed browser available digital asset management platform that's hosting their digital twin in 3D, which is what Pointerra does, that became incredibly valuable, and we saw a big spike in customer demand last calendar year, and then into calendar 21, and which has still got a few years to play out. We're now seeing governments, our own here in Australia, and certainly something that's very thematic in the US, is a massive underinvestment in civil infrastructure over the last 50 years. They're playing catch up on road, on rail, on water, on power, and so hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars going into the ground. There's tons of capital. There's tons of work that needs doing. There's a shortage of people, and as we know, there's supply chains are problematic. There's a shortage of materials. So the only way to get that capital in the ground is to innovate. And so the engineering firms in particular are being forced to rapidly innovate in a way they haven't over the last 50 or so years. And again, that's a real structural tailwind for a cloud platform like ours that's instantly on.
And how competitive is your product on a global scale?
So our platform shrinks workflow. So when people say, what's your competition? Our competition is people sat at high-end desktop machines running half a dozen pieces of really complex, expensive software, sitting and then maybe 5, 10, 50, 100 people doing that same thing. 3D data in, answer out over hours, days, weeks, even months for big projects. So we compete with that workflow. And so we say, stick your data in the cloud, give it to us, we'll get you the answer really quickly and allow you to repeat that process as you need. And so so our competition isn't necessarily another company or another product, it's existing entrenched workflow. So you're trying to change people's behaviour and that can add to the friction in the sales process, because people don't like to change even though they say they do.
And talking about sales, how have your sales numbers and your financials looked over the last 6-12 months?
Yeah, well, we've grown ACV, which is annual recurring revenue, which we express in US dollars, and we've got a quarterly coming out later this week. So I'm sure the market's looking forward to seeing what we've got to say there. But we've grown our recurring revenue measured in US dollars from as little as $1 million or so US, sort of 8 or 9 quarters ago, to just under 10 million US at the end of the June quarter. We've got a lag there in terms of revenue recognition and cash coming through from customers, and that lag sort of has been out as far as 12 months. That's starting to come in a bit, but we're trying to get ACV or in US dollars out to 50 mil and then 100 mil. We've got across those 6 buckets, each of those has a total addressable market in excess of 50 to 100 million US for our platform. And so, our story is one of hiring more people in the development and the product and the sales teams with deep domain knowledge in each of those 6 sectors to accelerate revenue. But we're on the way, and we're pretty much self-sustaining in an organic sense. But there's lots of M&A opportunities as well.
And talk about the future. What does the future look like? What's the plan for the next 6, 12, 18 months?
So the plan of the next few quarters is to continue to deliver on our promise, which is continual compound growth in ACV. We have a land and expand strategy with our customers where we'll start them on a really modest spend, and we know experience has shown us that it's sticky, and our customers find ways to spend more money with us. So we'll continue to press that out. We'll probably look to make some more of these tuck-in acquisitions. We made one back in June, which was just 4 people, but across those 6 sectors, we'll look at attracting some new talent, and that might require some additional capital. But at the moment, we've pretty much got a good runway to grow the business organically. And hopefully, when we can escape this little bubble we live in, I can get back to North America, and our team there is doing fantastic. But it's near on 15 people now. And last March, when COVID happened, we had 4. So I've not met 10 or so of the folk we've hired. So looking forward to getting back to that part of the world.
A world-class platform, Tier 1 global clients, significant tailwinds pushing you in the right direction. Only way is up here for Pointerra. Exciting times ahead. Ian, thanks for your time.
Pleasure. Thank you, David.